It is spring break, which means it is time to binge read a series that I wanted to binge read in the month of March. And it is the Truly Devious trilogy. Here they are, in the flesh. I do own them. Amazon. Better World books, which is why they're unmatching. First, of course, cover appreciation. We love a consistent cover series. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I have read the first two books in the series. I've actually reread this one once, so now I'm rereading these so that I can finally read this one. And also, the purpose of rereading the entire trilogy in itself is so I can prepare for the Box in the Woods coming out in May. I just love the series so much. It was my introduction back into young adult mystery. I don't know what I had read before that, but I did read Truly Devious the same year that it came out, and I read The Vanishing Stair the same year it came out as well. And it just showed me like what the new wave of YA mystery was, because since then, of course, I've read a couple more and it seems to be much in the same. We have a protagonist, a female protagonist specifically, kind of in love with true crime and stumbles upon a mystery of herself, which is the plot of a lot of books I've read. And I don't hate it, because that used to be like me. Like, that used to be me, where I was obsessed with true crime. And so to see like these characters that were like having the same interest as me, doing something that they loved, it was just so satisfying. I am ready to jump back into the world. Also, the last book I read was Black Sun, so a nice, easy fantasy series. This is why I shouldn't film in the morning. A nice, easy mystery series should do me some good. Let me tell you a general synopsis of Truly Devious before I leave you to go and start reading this. Stevie has gotten into this very prestigious school. You have to like be really special at something to get into it, and it's far off in the middle of nowhere. And by choice, as her choice for her project, because obviously there's got to be some sort of project that she's got to be doing the entire time, she decides that she wants to solve the many old year case. I don't know exactly how old it is, but she wants to solve an iconic case that happened at Ellingham Academy, which is where she's going to, and that is the disappearance of the founder's wife and daughter. There's like just multiple elements to the mystery that were never solved, and she's taken it upon herself as her project to solve it. And naturally, she gets herself into some trouble, as it seems Truly Devious has come back and haunted the kids at Ellingham Academy. Let's get into it. I thought I'd do kind of a first chapter reaction. I forgot it has a map in it. That's great. Oh. Nothing could be safer, she said. No. I hate this. Dottie had seen this person before. She had read many stories in which death was present as a character, a palpable force in the room. There was such a force in the room now, a silent visitor in the space. Oh. Justice for Dottie. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, this is freaky. Hey, I just wanted to interrupt this video to describe to you my annotating system I used for the Truly Devious series, considering I do bring it up a couple of times and you might be curious. So orange is love / moments I am happy about. Dark purple are negative moments, so this could be like sad and angry stuff that I don't vibe with in terms of the writing. Light purple is for funny quotes, funny moments, things that make me smile. Blue is for quotes. Green is for my detective work / foreshadowing that I might catch. And yellow is for commentary. Back to the video. Good morning. Was I wearing my pajamas in yesterday's clip? Am I wearing the same thing? I've gotten a third of the way through Truly Devious, and I told you that I would update you every third of the way. I've been hard at work annotating this book. I have never felt so compelled to literally like annotate everything. Every scene between the characters, especially when they're all together, is literally perfect. I don't know, there's just something about the dialogue and the things that people say, because this is a mystery novel and there's a lot of circumstances surrounding some of the characters. Hayes, for example, I can talk about this because it's a spoiler vlog. Hayes, obviously, I know what ends up happening. He's like one of the people that I remember, like what happens in his thing, but like catching it all at the beginning, like when he doesn't know what the mall is, for example. I mean, they say that out loud, Nate and Stevie, but I still caught it. But then also like when there's that weird exchange that Stevie also noticed, like I know what it all connects to, and it's just so satisfying to see all the pieces kind of come together very slowly. The representation in this book isn't like insane, but it's still like more than I think a lot of people could have said a few years ago. I mean, this book wasn't great, published like 5+ years ago. It was published in 2018, I think, but it was just like there's a non-binary character, right? And no cisgender author, cishet author even tried to like put that representation in their books. Usually for gender non-conforming characters, the only people you ever see writing them are generally like queer authors. And then also Janelle, who's gay. I think she's a lesbian. There's just so much I want to talk about. Okay, let's just look at my annotations and let me just see, because it is the beginning. I think in the first like 100 pages maybe, there's a lot of setup. Stevie arriving at the school and we're meeting all the characters, and then also with the mystery of the second timeline back in the day, there's a lot of little things that were being revealed, whether that be through the side characters or the phone calls themselves. I talked about the ransom yesterday. Nate. Okay, let's talk about what I don't like. Nate. I know I don't like Nate. I remember that from my last reading. Nate is just so freaking annoying. I hate characters who just like complain and who just hate everything and who are just so rude for no reason, because that seems to always be something that comes with the complaining. Like they just literally, most of this dark purple are things that Nate says, because everything he says is unbearable to me. Like when he's let me find it. There's just this one thing that really ticked me off. So they're at the party, right? And they're talking about the thing, and we meet David in the scene. We'll talk about David in a second. And he's like, I feel kind of better, he said to Stevie. I think you're even more screwed than I am. Like, read the room. You don't just say that to somebody. I hate Nate, and I know that he just gets even more unbearable throughout the book as more complicated stuff happens. I literally want to punch him in the face. And then David. So I never really liked David as a love interest. I thought he was just fine as a character. And then like reading it now, he's so rude too. Not rude, but he's too comfortable. There's a way that you act with people that you know, and there's a way that you act with people that you don't know. And if you have that type of personality that can be a little bit intimidating to people, you probably don't lead with that, unless you want to, of course. But David definitely is the sarcastic, I'll tease you about your insecurities kind of thing person, and it just comes off rude like Nate. But then it's a little bit more mischievous with David, because he's always smiling, that freaking weird smile he does. And I just don't think that was the best approach for introducing, well, the story, of course it works, but like in terms of him introducing himself, I don't think that it works, because now Stevie's like, does this guy hate me, or is this guy just a jerk? I don't like him at all. I feel like there was some redemption to him the original 2 times I read it, but like now reading it, it's like, go away. It's so annoying. I'm having a really fun time annotating it, so I will catch you when I want to talk to you about something else. It is like a little after 4 now, and I finally finished the second third of this book. Oh my god. I love it so much, and I love it because of how easy it is. And I don't mean that as criticism. I feel like sometimes mystery writers try to outwit their audience too much, and then the book ends up sucking. I think I said this in my Bogopolython vlog, how like I really like the ending of the guest list because it makes sense. Like there wasn't some, I mean, it was a twist. There was a lot of twists and reveals, but it wasn't anything that was way out of the ordinary. Everything connected perfectly, and the twist worked well. With Truly Devious, it's easy. The clues come in very small, but like obvious forms because Stevie is very observant. I really like Stevie because she actually is like genuinely good at what she does. And then now in the second third, of course, we get introduced to the mystery of the book specifically that Stevie ends up getting somewhat involved in, which is the murder of Hayes Mayer. And I'm glad that I mean, I don't really like Hayes. He's just like that Hollywood type that needs everyone to know that he's... Penny, what are you doing? There's a good amount of secondary characters that really don't hold any real relevance at the moment, and then of course we have our main cast of side characters that do hold relevance. Them, I wouldn't want to die. Anyone who lives in Minerva House. Like, my heart's not broken up about this. Having read the book already, some of this stuff is just funny to me because it's like, well, that's not really that true. For example, I put, he was honest, Maris said. He was the most honest person I've met. We'll see about that in 50 business pages. I've definitely annotated less in the second third than I have in the first third. I didn't realize how significantly less it was. I'm just invested. I'm ready to finish this. I'm gonna finish it right now, and I'll catch you guys. David is a Sagittarius man. It all makes so much sense now. I finished this. Sorry if I seem a little distant. I mean, what else is there to say? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've pretty much spilled all that I needed to spill. I love the confrontation scene because it's just so, like, sudden, and it feels like a confrontation scene in a detective novel. Like, you did this, and then you did this. Am I right, or am I right? And then, of course, David's just being annoying, as always. I mean, what's new? Surprisingly, Nate, I don't hate him as much. Like, there's a really cute moment that I marked of him being like, you've been depressed lately. I need you to, like, come to this party with me because I don't want you to mope around anymore. And I thought that was cool. The book ends with, like, only one kind of subplot being figured out, and besides that, nothing else gets solved. And actually, this is going to happen because it's a mystery series around the same mysteries, so you can't just solve everything in the first book. But very few authors are able to get away with this, because sometimes it just feels like a cut. Like, you can have one full novel, and this just feels like the first 300, 400 pages. But I think this book stands very well on its own. I love the ending. This will forever be one of my favorite endings because of just, it comes out of nowhere. It just like hits you, and it's so funny. Also, Larry, I thought I hated him, but I don't, which is weird because many of the adults, it's strange because many of the adults in this book actually make sense, and they're actually like decent people, because, you know, adults in YA books can be weird and mean and annoying, but like Larry, for example, he's actually quite nice and understanding, and he's not harsh at all. I don't know, I actually like him. I like him as an adult figure, in Stevie's life. Did I tell you my rating? I gave it like a 4.5, which is a bit off from my original ratings, which was 5 stars. The reason I'm not giving it like a full 5 is because I feel like we did have a couple down moments where it seems like there's a significant break between the 3 acts, and I feel like that break wasn't necessary, and this really could have the potential of being a fast-paced mystery novel, but instead it's more like medium-paced with how much downtime there is between each act. I'm going to immediately continue on with The Vanishing Stair. Look at her, she's so cute. I don't really like the color red, but the color palette and the covers of this series are fantastic. It says, "Nothing stays buried forever." Good morning! Obviously, as soon as I woke up, I started reading The Vanishing Stair. I'm always hesitant about the motivations of new characters because they often play into the new plots in the sequels, or they have a purpose for something relating to the main plot. You know, like, you're not just going to introduce a new character for no reason. So Dr. Fenton, I think I kind of remember what her deal was, but I'm still, like, very sus of her because that's what we're being given, right? Like, the 3rd act breakup is so annoying. Literally, I don't watch contemporary movies because there's always the 3rd act breakup, whether that be between friends or lovers, and it's so annoying because it's a problem of miscommunication. Honestly, I'd probably vibe with it more if they drag it out, or if Maureen Johnson drags it out into the 3rd book, because then at least there's a little bit of substance and it's not like it was there for no reason, you know what I mean? And then can we talk about Stevie being a little different? Here's first book Stevie. She's fun. She's an investigator. She does whatever she wants, you know? The type of protagonist that we love, because she's making the decisions that we would probably make. So book 1 Stevie was like, oh, you could tell me that Mr. Ellingham is still alive and I probably would believe you and investigate that for you. Book 2 Stevie thought it was improbable that there was tunnels under the used to be guest house in a place with strange architecture. And she was so dismissive of David's theories about, like, Ellie existing somewhere on campus. Maybe Edward King has taken a grip on her mind, because that is not the girl I loved in the first book. Oh, I just got to the annotation. I totally forgot Mr. Ellingham, Albert, had an affair for 7 years. I was so like, a rich man I could actually root for, you know, they're always jerks or whatever. And Ellingham's kind of cool because he's a little quirky too. This man had an affair? No, not okay. At all. At all. I'm taking away my supportive bone from that. And then I also wanted to say Larry and Stevie continue to be my favorite duo. I love them so much. Stevie and David are not endgame at all. Like, we're literally like halfway through this book and he's still being a jerk and mean. Like, this is stuff he would have said in the first book. There's no character development. He constantly hurts Stevie, and it's even worse because Stevie's conflicted with her feelings. So, like, it's toxic. You want to solve the greatest crimes of the past so that everyone will think you were Nancy Drew, and in the process, what? Ellie dies and blah blah blah. That is so mean. He's literally, like, blaming her for everything. It's like rage that fills inside of me whenever David speaks. So I got through my first third of The Vanishing Stair. Nothing happened. Francis and Edward, very interesting people. I hate that thing they do in books. Like, it usually comes in like the 3rd book in a series or the middle book, but the main character will like go back to their original place and then magically something comes up and then they go back to the main setting of the story. It's so annoying because it shows no importance to to the story, and then I also hate the original setting, or not the original setting, I hate wherever they go, because it's so boring compared to the main story, and it takes like an extra 40 pages just to get there. But Stevie goes back to Pennsylvania because obviously her parents get freaked out by the blog and stuff, and then she just goes back because whatever. It's annoying to me. And then like there's these like moments between Larry and Stevie that are so wholesome. I love their moments together. Such a good duo, such a good duo. I also wanted to show you my TBR shelf because you might have seen in like another video of sorts, or maybe, I don't know. But I had all the books right, and then I had them all stacked up there because they didn't fit on the shelf anymore. But like with everything that I've been reading, that's my TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4. That used to be on this shelf, and that bottom one is a library book. But with everything that I've been reading, it all fits now, except for this one. But this one doesn't really matter though, because it'll eventually go back on the other shelf, and I don't really mind if I like it. It looks so nice. Some new developments have been made, starting with the fact that I finished The Vanishing Stair. I was so into the story that I immediately like picked up the third one because, well, I just told you why, but like I didn't even want to stop and talk to you all because then I had to set up a camera, whatever. So let's talk about my thoughts on The Vanishing Stair. I don't think it's as exciting as the first one, so I think that's why I'm gonna rate it like half a star less. Maybe a 4.25. That feels right. Because a lot of my ratings are based on feeling. 4.5 seems a little bit too much. So 4.25 definitely. It's like a very intense last chapter because it's a lot. And then we also get revealed who ended up like being a part of Iris and Alice's kidnapping, which is of course George Marsh. And it feels dumb because I remembered it wrong. I thought it was the butler, but it was the cop, so I knew who it was, basically. I just mixed up the names. I don't know, it just was like so much at the end that I needed to pick up the third one. Oh, and Larry got fired. What's up with that? Like, I hate that. I mean, obviously it's for the purpose of the story, so I'm talking about like in terms of the story. I hate that he got fired. Yeah, to be fair, it is kind of his job to like protect the school. He's like doing a bad job at it, but he doesn't need to get fired. I put right here the EA adults are using her. I don't know. Like there's something up with Dr. Quinn for sure. Charles, maybe he's like smarter than he's letting on, but like I don't know if I still would affirm to that theory. I don't know. But like Larry's kind of like, just be careful, you know, weird stuff's going on. And then with everything that was revealed before that, I was kind of like, maybe these adults are like typical boarding school adults. And then this line hurt me. She had to let him go. Oh, poor David. I don't like him, but like I don't want to see him die. I don't want to see any of the main cast die. And then I finished my first set of chapters for The Hand on the Wall. Diable, mon pouvoir est formidable. Sans effort, je fais un peu. A fantastic beginning. We see Flora giving birth to Alice, which was the big twist that we've been leading up to for some time. There's this whole secret with Alice, and it is in fact that she is not Iris's biological daughter. Didn't expect it to be Flora. I thought the twist was it wasn't Albert's daughter, or she wasn't Albert's daughter, but it's just an adoption story, which I suppose is a little scandalous for the 30s. I know what I'm saying is true, but I don't have any evidence, and it's so frustrating because she doesn't have any like solid evidence. She needs, there's like one more piece to the puzzle that she needs, and it'll all come together. Which is of course what this book was meant to be about, probably. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. What happened to Alice? What's up with Dr. Fenton's death? Obviously it says what's up with David. I ended on the chapter afterwards. After chapter 9, where we see it back into the past, and Flora tells George that Alice is his daughter. But like before that, I love iconic returns. This has the risk of being like too clumped up at the end, where everything just all at once gets answered. But like honestly, I just want to keep reading to find out. So. I hate the way my bun looks today, and I hate like this is the last clip I'm gonna give to you. But I finished the hand on the wall. Yo! Oh my god. What do I say? What do I say? First off, let's talk about the full circle moment. Hold on. First book, the first line we get from our main timeline and from Stevie is, "The moose is alive." And then the ending scene, it's so cute. I want to cry. Stevie thinks she finally saw a moose. She never saw one throughout the trilogy, and now she finally saw one at the end of this investigation, her new life. And then her friends are like, "No, that wasn't a moose, but we'll let her have it." Oh, the full circle moments. I love full circle moments. They're always so much more emo to read about than like, I don't know, a sappy quote or whatever. Okay, and then also, I told you all about Charles. I said it. I think I said it out loud during my last clip, but like, that man was too, I don't know, just, what do I say without getting myself in trouble? It's just, you never trust adults in like boarding school books. And the fact that he died too, oh my god, that is like morbid. Larry coming back, ooh, I love that scene. And then the whole monologue, of course Stevie had to have her monologue, and I'm so happy she got it, and I'm so happy like that's how we got revealed the information. And it's like all of these pieces that connected together that you never would imagine to connect. So I think in itself the mystery isn't like, okay, well, I really do like the mystery, but like, and the result of it being Charles, because like I said, I was just very sus of him since the beginning. There's no person that's that enthusiastic. Anyways, it was a little random, but I still like it because I feel like people really wanted it to be, probably really wanted it to be someone that was closely connected, more closely connected to Stevie. Girl, what are her friends gonna do? They're very much secondary characters, and if honestly it was any of them, probably would have had the same reaction. Ugh, David, freaking annoying, but he's like I said, he's the exact same way he is in the first book. At least in the second book he chills out a little bit, and the confrontations that he have are in miscommunication, but like they're not irrational. And in this third book he's the exact same way he was in the first book. Annoying, mean, like a bully almost. It's I do not like David. I read a review of the fourth book that's coming out, or not the fourth book, but the standalone that's coming out. And apparently David only makes like a couple appearances, and I'm like, God bless, cause I don't think I can handle any more of that man, of that boy. Happy that Dr. Quinn got to take over the school. Would have loved some more like, I don't know. We didn't get much with her, which I guess makes sense. She was like really a secondary character, but I'm happy for her too. Nice. She got what she did. She got what she deserved. I gave it 4.5, same as the first book. And I need Maureen Johnson to make a spin-off detective series with Stevie. Here we are. I actually didn't read the first book the original year it came out. I read it in the summer of 2019, and I had apparently reread it the same year, which I never used to do, which is why I thought it was improbable, and I just said I read it in 2018. But I read these two originally in the same year, so. Here I have it. I have read and finished the Truly Devious trilogy. Here they all look with the annotations. Again, fantastic covers. I think overall the series, I'm going to rate it a 4.5. It was fantastic. I love the characters. Nice, good effort on diversifying the cast of characters as well. And it had a great conclusion. Honestly, if anything has a great conclusion, I'm gonna rate it very highly. With that, I bid you a farewell from this very long video, and I will see you next time. Bye! Here is the result after the past 2 days of reading this book. I literally had to use 3 pads because I ran out of yellow, and so I had to take out a third one. And then look at, I didn't use pink for my annotating, and then I ended up, I used all of the ones I needed on that pad. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. It's insane, you know what reading is. Because now I have to like adjust to the real world again. What am I gonna read now? 6 of Crows. Am I ready? Am I ready for the crows?